2017 was a landmark year for horror movies, with the genre truly making its mark on the mainstream in a big way. Well-funded and, more importantly, well-rounded stories emerged from all sorts of dank crevices, bringing old favourites back to the screen as well as terrifying new evils to keep you up at night. The combination of entries into the horror universe has been the most varied and exceptional in a long time. With that in mind, I'm Ash from Whatculture, and these are the 10 best horror movies of 2017. 10. Leatherface. Everyone's favourite chainsaw murderer made a comeback to the big screen in his very own self-titled film, Leatherface. Directed this time by French duo Alexandre Bustillo and Julienne Maury, the film strays from the classic hillbilly hunting format of the previous entries in the series and instead devolves into a crazy road trip, though plenty of gore keeps Leatherface true to its Texas Chainsaw Massacre roots. Portraying the titular antagonist as a troubled teen escaping a mental asylum, we see his decline into violent insanity, though the film really makes us wait for that chainsaw moment. 9. Annabelle Creation. Horror sequels have a tendency to be, well, a bit Luckily, Annabelle got around this by pumping out a prequel instead, inheriting the director from Lights Out, David F. Sandberg. The film is an eclectic collection of terrifying images, jump scares, and intriguing narratives, meaning you can never quite anticipate where the next fright is coming from. Like all horror films, Annabelle Creation got some mixed reviews, but its place on the list is well deserved for its bravery in playing around with the genre, and coming in as a reinvigoration for a franchise that had started to drift away from its terrifying roots. 8. A Cure for Wellness. Horror and mystery go hand in hand, and A Cure for Wellness makes this clear from its title alone. When a young executive goes to bring his CEO back from a wellness centre in the Swiss Alps, it isn't long until he notices something is up, and finds himself diagnosed with the same curious disease that keeps patients hospitalised against their will. Toying with the sanity of its protagonist and perpetuating a brooding tone throughout, the movie is a spooky trip down the rabbit hole with a particularly impressive atmosphere. Who would have thought the spas could be scary? 7. Happy Death Day. The Groundhog Day of horror films, Happy Death Day is that special combination of film that takes all the tired and worn out facets of its genre and turns them into something new and sparkly. Waking up every day to be your birthday sounds fun enough to begin with, but getting savagely killed continuously might take the shine up after a while. Or at least, that's what the ridiculously named Tree finds when a mass killer gets inventive in a deadly time loop. Intriguing, fun, and a little bit silly, Happy Death Day is everything a teen slasher aspires to be. 6. It Comes at Night. It's the apocalypse, you're safe with your family on your own fortified home, and all of a sudden a bunch of strangers jump in and want to cohabit to avoid the deadly forces of evil outside. How rude can people get? It Comes at Night explores the devolution of society in a claustrophobic home setting, pitting two families against each other in a bid to survive. Of course, with a title like It Comes at Night, the dark is a key factor in what horrors plague the outside world. And horrors there are plenty. 5. The BELKO Experiment. There's a strangely appealing quality to horror films that function as game shows, and the BELKO Experiment falls explicitly into this category. With a mysterious voice commanding an office full of Americans to murder each other, it's kill or be killed to be the last man standing. Turning fear and gore into sick entertainment always goes down well, and I'm sure we all know someone from work we would happily take out. Live your fantasies through the magic of film, guys. 4. The Babysitter. Netflix has been smashing the TV industry in recent years, and in 2017 it took a good wallop at film as well. The Babysitter released exclusively through the streaming site and masterfully blends comic book fun with ritualistic horror. What do you do when your babysitter is funny, intensely kind, and to top it all off, smoking hot? Watch her in secret like a little pervert, of course. Well, this babysitter isn't your usual, and she's got a cult of mismatched pals to do the devil's bidding with. Cole learns this the hard way and has to fight his way to dawn with whatever he can find in his own home, which makes for relentlessly entertaining watching. Without saying too much, it's a real explosive watch. 3. It. Stephen King's nightmare depiction of coulrophobia, that's clown phobia, for those like me who need to Google these big words, has terrified audiences up and down the country, inspiring dread at the very sight of a mere red balloon. Bringing Pennywise the Clown back in full HD for 2017 was a gamble, as Tim Curry's much-loved character was deemed unbeatable by mega fans and critics alike. That is, until Bill Skarsgård stepped onto the screen as the child-hunting shapeshifter. Combining popularised 80s nostalgia with those childhood fears we are all familiar with creates a dreamlike movie that soon reveals itself as a nightmare. Just don't go stepping near sewers anytime soon if you value your limbs. 2. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. One of the best horror films in recent years, The Autopsy of Jane Doe follows a mortician and his son as they attempt to piece together how a young girl died. Alone in their basement morgue, strange occurrences start plaguing the pair as they work, hinting that maybe there's something more to the body on their table. Full of supernatural suspense and paced perfectly from start to end, The Autopsy of Jane Doe is a testament to modern horror, toying with its audience as much as its characters. A murder mystery that pans out into something you don't really expect. 1. Get Out. Praised over and over again for its innovative look at race relations in a genre that often overlooks the subject entirely, Get Out is not only a stark social commentary, but an intense horror film to boot. Following Chris as he meets his girlfriend's family for the first time, the film depicts how polite awkwardness over their interracial coupling soon gives way to a bizarre nightmare. It's the first film of its kind and sparked many discussions since. Get Out proves that imaginative, original horror is still out there to be made. We only have to be brave enough to do so. Or something like that. And that's our list. Do you have any of the things that kept you up at night? Well, let us know down in the comments section below. I've been Ash and it's been a pleasure. Make sure to subscribe to the Whatculture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching!